Welcome to the Worldwise Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and this podcast is your guide to building a truly borderless life. From entrepreneurship, investment migration, tax optimization, and everything in between, this show highlights the nuances of a global citizen lifestyle. Let's dive in. Many of our clients are interested in South America Plan B options, whether it be relocation of themselves personally for residency or citizenship, or tax optimization for their business. But there is a time and a place for European residencies, especially if you're planning to naturalize and work your way toward citizenship. So we do work in various different countries for investment purposes in the EU. And today I'm going to be talking about Portugal and one of the lesser known options on how you can obtain your residency and then citizenship through the D2 visa. Now, most often when you're hearing about obtaining residency in Portugal, you're probably hearing about the D7 and D8 visa, which we have helped many clients to successfully obtain both these residencies as the digital nomad and the passive income visa. But there's also the D2 option, which is through employment in Portugal. Now, in a traditional sense, this is usually less interesting to our clients since they're not looking to have employment and work for a Portuguese company. However, we do work with the D2 visa as an option to work your way toward the 5-year citizenship by naturalization in Portugal. And you do not need to be employed by a local company in Portugal in a traditional sense in order to obtain this visa. This is actually more of an investment option, the way that we have worked to structure this visa, which I'm going to dive into. So, of course, there is the investment fund option, which used to be the golden visa in Portugal, and you're looking at a minimum starting point of €500,000. And with that, you work your way towards citizenship. But with the D2 visa, you are investing in a company and in a property, which I'll dive into the details shortly. In Portugal, the property itself is much more affordable than $500,000. And at the end of 5 years, you have access to the citizenship and the passport of Portugal. You have a property that you can sell or live in Portugal, and you can live long-term in Portugal if you would like. So let's go into the details of what this D visa is, what you can expect, and if at any point you are interested in learning more, you could book a consult with us below where we will go through all the details and see if this is right for you and your case and what you're looking for. If the D2 visa is not what you are looking for, then there are other options like the D7, the 8 visa in Portugal to work your way towards citizenship. But Portugal is a very interesting option, especially if you're looking for a low investment or even no investment with some of these options. Not the D2 option that we're going to talk about today, but Portugal is going to be the fastest track to an EU citizenship. If you are looking to obtain an EU citizenship, Portugal is going to be the fastest track in a 5-year time frame, again, with the lowest or even no investment in the country. So that is why Portugal is of interest to many of our clients. In 5 years' time, they have worked their way toward that citizenship. So let's get into it. Now, with this D2 visa option in Portugal, you are going to have both a property in Lisbon and you are also going to have a company. Now, the company is going to employ you. You are getting a salary and paying Social Security from that company, as the D2 visa is a working visa. So your company is employing you, and then the company is invested into a property in Lisbon in the local market. And this is a property that you can live in. It's typically a 1 or 2 bedroom. So if you're a family, you may not want to live here. You can choose to live here, but most of our clients choose to rent out this property. So with this rental, you are guaranteed €600 per month in rental income. Now, as of this recording, the property is still pre-built, but as soon as you get the company set up, you purchase this pre-built property, you are already getting an income of €600 per month in your own company, as this is required for the D2 visa, and of course to work your way up to the citizenship in 5 years' time. Now, is there a physical presence that's required on the ground? Is a question that we get from many of our clients. There is not an initial physical presence that you need to have to start the process in Portugal. The property can be purchased if you would like, sight unseen. Of course, currently it is pre-built, but it can be purchased with you not being in Portugal. And yes, foreigners can purchase property in Portugal, fairly straightforward. And the company can also be set up without you physically being in Portugal. So to start this process, there is no need for you to be in Portugal. The only time you will need the requirements to physically be in Portugal is about a year after we have applied. So, about 12 to 14 months into your application, where you will have to physically be present for us to take your biometrics as a part of the residency process. Other than this, you do not need to be physically present at any point in Portugal for the process. All you need to have is that company that is set up and the property that is purchased in your name. Now, of course, as with all of the properties in the past that were eligible for the 5-year citizenship timeframe, once you hold a citizenship after 5 years, you can then choose to sell the property if you would like. And your processing time to gain citizenship now does start when you first submit your application. So from that point forward, 5 years, that is when you will qualify to start the citizenship process. Now, an important piece of this, of course, is that you do have to have the A2 level of Portuguese as part of the application process for your citizenship. So it does not need to be advanced. You are starting at A1, you have to be A2, but you do need to know some of the basics in order to qualify for the citizenship. And it's important to note if you're over the age of 60, then this language requirement does not apply to you. So there will be two different aspects of the Portuguese language level that you need to consider when working your way towards citizenship. You will need, of course, the official A2 level Portuguese, and you're going to need to do this for citizenship. It assesses reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills. While it's not advanced, you do need some basics of Portuguese. However, not to worry if you are not confident in your skills to learn Portuguese at an A2 level, or you're not planning to live in this 5-year time frame in Portugal. Instead, you can qualify to take a 150-hour Portuguese language course, and this can be done in place of needing that A2 level Portuguese and taking the tests to ensure that you do have this A2 level. So you have two different options here on how you want to qualify as a part of the Portuguese language exam. And to be completely transparent, most of our clients do go with the 150-hour Portuguese language course instead of speaking Portuguese and going through the exam. So, of course, if we're looking at the investment fund option in Portugal, that is 500,000 euros, half a million euros to qualify. Now, this option for the D2 visa, including the property purchase, company formation, and everything involved with the company formation, is 250,000, and that also includes your application fees to start the residency process in Portugal. So within this fee of 280,000 euros, you're getting your company formation and everything that goes along with that. The property that you're looking to purchase, and this cost is for one of the smaller units. You can opt for a 2-bedroom if needed, and this property is based in Lisbon, along with all of the legal and administrative fees that go along with processing this D2 visa application. So you're looking at a significantly lower cost than if you are wanting to get the golden visa and the half a million euro option golden visa. And with that, you're investing 60% into a fund in Portugal. It has to be a minimum of 60% into a Portuguese fund. There are many different fund options in Portugal, easily multiple hundreds at the minimum, but most of them are not going to be quality options. There are also Bitcoin fund options that are held in Portugal. So if you are looking to invest in an investment fund in the Portuguese market, then this could be the better way to go. But if you're looking for a straightforward 5-year timeframe citizenship with an EU passport by the end of it for less than $300,000, with the option to sell the property after a 5-year timeframe once you've gained citizenship, then this is going to be the option for you. If you're interested in learning more, you can book a consult with us below. We will go through the entire process, the properties themselves, and what you can expect from purchasing one of these properties, and we'll walk you through the entire application based on your specific circumstances, and if it's going to be yourself, your family coming with you, and if you're planning to stay full-time or part-time in Portugal, or if you don't want to set foot in the country once. only during the biometrics for the entire application. We can definitely assist with that as well. You've just listened to the Worldwise Wealth podcast. Visit our links in the show notes below or at worldwisecapital.com to learn more about how we can assist in your borderless diversification journey. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next episode.